person to have come help you. The person who's never had trouble with that. Right? Now, that's a way of carrying each other's burdens. Are there other ways of carrying each other's burdens? Yeah, there are. And there are people that come with burdens to church. Have you ever noticed that? And some of them are financial burdens. People come and say, I need help financially. And we're supposed to help them to carry their burdens. Sometimes we get stuck there because the burdens stay and they never change, and those people will wear out at church. And they'll sense when they wear out church. And you know what to do? They'll go find a new one. And they'll ask them to help carry their burdens until that church is worn out. And they sense they're worn out, and then they'll go find another church. Okay? That's a serious problem. You see people doing that. Now, how do you deal with that? Well, you deal with it gently. Okay? You deal with it gently, realizing what you've got there is not just a financial problem. There are other problems there. And if you just deal with a financial problem, if you just keep throwing money at it without dealing with the other problems, you're going to get worn out. Right? As a church, we know that. We've experienced that. As a church, we see these cycles. As a church, sometimes we get bitter. Don't we? We get bitter. We feel used. We feel used up. And when someone comes and it just even smells like that situation, we say, get him. Oh, no, we don't want him. Okay. But the problem is we're not really dealing with the burden. We're dealing with the symptoms. You can deal with the symptoms all day long and never help the person. If you went to a doctor and said, man, you know, I have these pains, they said, well, take some aspirin. Make you feel better. You say, I'm going to find another doctor. Because I don't want to just deal with the symptoms. I want to, what is the problem? Why am I in pain? Okay. Churches get in this mode. And some churches are bitter about that. And some churches don't recover. Because people have used them and used them up. And they never learn the skills to actually help people with their burdens. They just kind of just keep treating symptoms. Oh yeah, they just need some more money. Yeah, they need another car. They need, you know. No, that's not how you help somebody. Okay. If anyone thinks he's something when he's nothing, he fools everybody. Is that what your text says? No. If someone thinks he is something when he's nothing, he fools, he deceives himself. Does anybody else get fooled? No, not for very long. There are people who think more highly of themselves than they ought to. And you already have mental pictures coming to mind. Okay, because you've experienced that. Or maybe you're one of those people. And guess who you're fooling? Just yourself. Why are you thinking more highly of yourself than you ought to? Well, number one is you're probably thinking about yourself too much. And you've not been able to focus on anybody else. They call that narcissistic. Okay? Everything's about me. I, me, mine, I, me, mine, I, me. Yeah. And you talk to these people and guess what you hear all the time? I, me, mine. And you bring up a topic and all of a sudden it's, oh, well, it's like I, in my experience and what I do and my family and... Okay. Who are they fooling?
Themselves.
Only themselves. Isn't that sad? It is a sad spiritual state of affairs. Okay? Now, it says, each man should test his own actions, then he can take pride in himself without comparing himself to somebody else. Here is the most important spiritual lesson that you have. Okay? Your relationship with God is your relationship with God. A relationship, by definition, are two people. You throw in a third person in there, you got too many people in the relationship. You do. You got to get rid of one. You can't get rid of two because you don't have a relationship. You got to have two. This is all about your relationship with your Creator. That's what we're talking about, your spiritual life. We're talking about your relationship with the one who gives you breath and life and being. You throw another person in there, you have too many people in your relationship. You should know where your relationship is with your Creator. You should know. Should I know where your relationship is with your Creator? No, that would be a third person in the relationship, wouldn't it? Should I be able to say, oh, you ought to be here by now? Or, I used to be like you. I used to be down there. No, this is your relationship with this is your spiritual life. And it belongs to you and God. It doesn't belong to you and God and your wife, you and God and your husband. It doesn't belong to you and God and your parents. It belongs to you and your Creator. That's it. And if you let somebody else in there, then you got too many people in that relationship. And you should know how you're doing. You should know how close you feel to your Creator. You should. Amen. And you don't have to come to me and say, Gary, how am I doing in my relationship with the Creator? Well, here's what I think. Who cares what I think? It's your relationship with your Creator. And if you let somebody else in there and say, let me just kind of step in here and help you guys out a little bit. God, on this side, I want you to understand. Here's, here's Lynn, here's Jesse on this side, and I think that you guys need to... No. All you need is your Creator. And you should know where you are. If you feel distant, you feel distant. Figure out why. If you feel close, fantastic. Enjoy it. Celebrate it with yourself. This is what it feels like to feel loved. This is what it feels like to feel joy. This is it. This is great. Without comparing yourself to somebody else. Because each one should carry his own burden. Now, it's natural for us to think in terms of helping people financially in this situation. Because we've been taught the burdens that we have is to help people that are less fortunate than us. Haven't you heard that before? Okay? And we think in terms of, okay, I need to share some money, I need to share my car, I need to share some clothes, I need to, okay. Is that the burden we're talking about here? No, we're talking about a spiritual thing here. Those things are important. And he's going to talk about that later in this chapter. About sharing all good things and doing good things for all people, especially of the household of faith. Okay? That's not what he's talking about here. He's talking about your burdens. What are they? Do you know? Do you know what kind of baggage you're carrying? Do you have any idea what your burdens are? Do you know what makes it hard for you to have a relationship with somebody else? What kind of baggage you're bringing into that relationship? I'm learning some things about the baggage in my life. And have to own things. I've got this thing about abandonment. I have abandonment issues. It's my baggage. It's my burden. And I can blame you for it. Give me a chance. I will. But it's mine. It's my burden. It's my baggage. And I need to know that it's mine.